Okay guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Ultimate Guide to Building Muscle course. Alright, part 1 was all about your workouts and how you can actually structure a workout and your program in order to build the most muscle. Okay, part 2 is about nutrition. Nutrition is arguably just as important as your workouts. There's a saying that goes, you can't out-train a bad diet, right? Meaning that you can't work out more and more and more, and you can't do the best program if you have a bad diet, right? If you have a bad diet and you're not hitting the things that we're talking about here, then your workouts are going to be pretty useless, right? You're going to get kind of beginner gains in the beginning, but after that you're really going to plateau and not see a lot of progress. So how we approach nutrition at the Strong Youth Collective is fairly simply, we don't believe in any fad diets, right? Any trends, no carbs, no fats, all of this stuff, right? We believe in the science and what actually works and what you're actually going to stick to, right? What you are actually going to be consistent to. That is the main thing with nutrition, right? People go on these diets all the time and they get amazing progress in the first month or 2 months. And then a year down the line, they're back to where they started, right? At the Strong Youth Collective, we want to give you guys the ability to work out for the rest of your lives, to have healthy lives, and to build muscle for the rest of your lives as well, okay? So that's our general approach to nutrition. So firstly, in order to build muscle, you need to eat more calories than you burn, okay? It's very simple. That is just a scientific fact, okay? It's based on the laws of thermodynamics, right? When you are walking, when you're standing up, whatever you're doing, you're burning calories, okay? You're burning energy. You need to eat more than you're burning in order to keep some of that energy, some of that mass, some of that muscle on you, okay? So that is point number one. That you can't get around that, right? You simply cannot eat less calories than you're burning and still gain muscle, okay? Number two, you do not need to track calories. So if you don't know what tracking calories is, it would be using an app like MyFitnessPal, and it would be logging every single food that you eat for the day so that you make sure you eat 3,000 calories or 2,500 or whatever the number is that you're trying to hit, okay? You do not need to track your calories in order to build muscle, okay? You just need to eat more calories than you burn, right? Now, a way that you might want to ensure that you're doing this is to track your calories, okay? How do you know how many calories you burn? Great question, all right? There is no exact way to know this, right? Unless you're going to go to some super high-tech lab and have yourself studied for the day, okay? There's a few ways that we can estimate it. One way is with a watch, right? So my watch tells me how many calories I burn roughly for the day. Again, that's an estimate, okay? It's probably plus or minus 100, okay? Which is a good amount. This today says that I burned 2,500, but actually I wasn't even wearing it the whole day, right? So even that in itself makes it inaccurate. Right. Another way is to use a calorie tracker or calorie estimator online, a calorie calculator. This is going to take your basal metabolic rate. Now that is the amount of calories that you would burn if you were just lying in bed all day. Okay. Now that is going to be more for boys than it is for girls, and it's more for people that weigh more. Okay. Whether that's you have more fat or you have more muscle. Okay. Either way, you're going to burn more calories. You're going to have a higher metabolic rate, right? So you can just search up on Google. Actually, we'll link one in the description of this video, of this module, and it will ask you a few questions about your activity, your physical activity. Are you active this many days a week, that many days a week, how many hours? It will ask you your age, your gender, and your weight. You put all that in, and it's going to give you, again, a rough figure, an estimate of how many calories you burn, okay? The goal with tracking is to then eat more calories than that number, okay? But again, you do not need to track What you do need to do is eat more calories than you burn, and you do that by eating a lot, right? Remember, this is the ultimate guide to building muscle, not to losing weight. That's a separate course, right? You need to eat a lot, right? And you need to eat your dinner, okay? You need to. So a lot of you guys are going to be living at home with your parents. Maybe your parents cooking for you. If you're sitting at the dinner table, eat all your dinner, okay? You might be sitting there and you might be full. You might not want to eat more. Eat more, okay? If your goal is to build muscle and you are serious about that, then you need to eat a lot, okay? If you can, ask for seconds, all right? If you can, ask your parents, say to them, just be honest with them, be open and honest with them, say, look, I'm really interested in building some muscles right now. I'm working towards that, I'm going to the gym, I want to be dedicated towards this. Would you be able to please cook me a bit more for dinner, right? Maybe another chicken breast or whatever it is, right? A bit more mince, a bit more rice, okay? That's going to help you to eat a lot, which is what you need to do to eat more calories than you burn, okay? Again, it doesn't have to be super accurate. You do not need to track your calories, especially if you've got your mum or dad making dinner for you. You do not need to ask them to, as they're measuring each little thing to make dinner for your whole family. You don't need to ask them to calculate the amount of calories in the meal, okay? It's not practical in life. And again, with nutrition, it's about being consistent. If you're tracking your calories every day, you're probably not going to do that for the rest of your life. So in our experience, and what I personally do, is I don't track calories. I have before, I have previously for maybe about a year, but what that allowed me to do was to actually know roughly how many calories are in things. I eat pretty much the same kind of things each day, so I know roughly how many calories I'm eating without trying to track each 1 calorie by 1 calorie, okay? You need to eat high protein sources, okay? That's an absolute must, okay? You need to eat enough protein for your body to be able to build the muscles, okay? It is protein that your body uses to build muscle, okay? Now, again, like the calorie calculator online, you can get a protein calculator, okay? And that's going to give you a rough number if you want to track calories, how much protein you need. If not, just eat a lot of protein, okay? Where can you get protein from? You get protein from meat primarily, okay? Chicken breast, mince, pork, right? Meat in that kind of way. One thing to not avoid, but to just be wary of, is sausages. They are very fatty. They do have protein in them, but actually more fat than protein, right? So don't just think that because it's a meat, it's going to have loads of protein in it. Just make sure that you think a little bit about what you are actually eating, okay? Now, do you need protein shakes? Okay, it's a question that I get asked a lot, right? No, you don't need them, okay? You can have them if you like, and if you have the money for it. It's going to help you to eat more protein and to eat a lot and to eat more calories than you're burning. But you definitely don't need to have them, okay? It's a supplement, it's an add-on, right? But if you're not having protein shakes, you do need to make sure that you are eating enough protein, okay? And like I said, just do that by eating a lot of meat, okay? If you have some other dietary requirements, like you're vegan or something like that, then you can still find protein in other ways, okay? In the Strong Eater Collective, we have recipe meals and packs for people who are vegan, gluten-free. We have high protein packs. We've got loads of different things in there for all of our members, right? We want to be able to provide for everyone and all their kind of eating requirements. So next, we do of course recommend that you avoid eating loads of sweet stuff. Okay, that's not because you're not gonna build muscle on it, right? It's just because, one, it makes room for the more nutritious foods like your vegetables, right? Your mum's gonna like this, but you do need to eat your vegetables, okay? One, it is gonna help with muscle growth in that your whole body and system is going to be happier and healthier, and from that you're gonna build more muscle. But also you want to be healthy, right? You want to be able to live a long, healthy life where you can continue to work out and build muscle for the rest of your life. Okay, to do that, you need to eat nutritious food, and eating sugary and sweet foods comes with health implications. Okay, you are unlikely to develop something like type 2 diabetes because you're active, you're working out, right? You're trying to build muscle, you're healthy, but there are still a lot of health implications that come with eating high sugar snacks. Okay. Now, of course, you can still eat sugar, right? I eat sugar. I like a pudding, okay? And I like chocolate every now and then. You can absolutely do that, especially when you're building muscle. You don't need to be as strict with it as if you were trying to lose weight, right? Just don't go crazy on it, right? Be sensible, okay? Everything is fine in moderation, okay? So that is pretty much it for nutrition when it comes to building muscle, okay? Like I said at the start, we take not a relaxed approach, but a factual approach to what you actually need to build muscle when it comes to your diet. I hope you enjoyed this part and that it was useful.